All right, if you're a developer, listen up. You're not just picking a tool anymore. You are right on the front lines of a full-blown war for control over how we write code. The stakes have never been higher, and this right here, this is your essential briefing on the AI coding agent war.
First things first, whatever you think you know about AI coding assistants, just forget it. That whole era of simple autocomplete, the AI that just saved you a few keystrokes, yeah, that's over. That model is basically extinct, and it's been replaced by something way, way more powerful.
So what's replaced it? Well, meet the new player on the battlefield, the autonomous agent. This is not just an assistant. This is a system that can take a goal, create a complex plan that spans multiple files, actually execute that plan, test its own work, and even fix its own bugs, all without you holding its hand. It's a whole new ballgame.
So, that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? In this new war, with these incredibly powerful new agents, how do you, the indie developer, the software engineer, how do you choose your weapon? Getting this right could define your productivity for the next couple of years. Let's start by just surveying this new battlefield. The ground has totally shifted under our feet, and it really feels like it happened overnight.
And the spark that really lit this whole thing on fire, it was a flood of testimonials just like this one. When a lead engineer at Google, Jana Dogan, says that an AI agent rebuilt a year's worth of her team's work in a single hour, well, that's not just a product review. That's a declaration that the fundamental rules of software engineering are being rewritten right before our eyes.
So, with the stakes this high, 3 main armies have emerged, each one fighting for dominance on this new battlefield. So let's meet the factions, the 3 armies all vying for a spot in your workflow. First up, you've got the current king of the hill, Anthropic's Claude Code. It's a terminal native agent, which means it works at a really deep architectural level of your project. Its SW bench score of 72.7% is, right now, the number everyone else is desperately trying to beat. Its superpower is handling huge, complex refactoring jobs, and at $20 a month, it's the premium performance choice. The second faction is the absolute behemoth in the room, OpenAI's GPT 5.4, baked right into GitHub Copilot. Their whole strategy is to be everywhere. It lives right inside your IDE. And, this is a big one, it now has native Xcode support. That is a massive game changer for any iOS developers out there. They've even got a smaller mini model for quick, low-latency tasks. And at just $10 a month, that's an incredibly aggressive price point. And this really shows you the 2 competing philosophies at play. Claude Code, the terminal agent, is what you call when you need the heavy artillery, like a massive project-wide refactor. Copilot, the IDE agent, is more like your real-time pair programmer, right there with you, helping you write code line by line. They're not really competing for the same job. They're designed for totally different moments in your workflow. But wait, there's a third army, the open source rebellion. This is led by tools like Block's Goose, powered by models like NewsCoder 14b. Their core value is one thing: freedom. With Goose, you can plug in any AI model you want, whether it's a free one running on your own machine or a powerful API. The advantage here is huge: no vendor lock-in. You aren't trapped in one company's ecosystem. You get total control over your costs, your privacy, and your tools. That's a powerful place to be.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, because the most important factor in this entire war, the thing that will decide who wins, is not what most people are looking at. The real secret weapon is kind of hiding in plain sight.
So let me just ask you this. How is it possible for one system to have a 60% performance advantage over another one when they are using the exact same AI model under the hood? I mean, think about that. The answer to this changes everything about how you should be looking at these tools.
Look at this data. This is wild. On the industry-standard SW bench test, Claude Code gets that staggering 72.7% score, but the open-source tool Goose, using the identical Claude Sonnet model, only scores around 45%. Same brain, but wildly different results. So, why?
That gap, a massive 27 percentage points, comes down to one thing: the orchestration advantage. This is the secret weapon.
So what the heck is orchestration? It's all the invisible engineering around the AI model. It's the system that understands your file structure, that tracks all the dependencies, that handles errors gracefully, and decides which tools to use and when. The best way to think about it is this: the AI model is the weapon, but orchestration is the strategy and the skill of the soldier who's wielding it.
And this brings us to the single most important takeaway from this entire briefing. When you are choosing an AI coding agent, the orchestration layer is more important than the underlying model itself. A great orchestrator with a good model will beat a mediocre orchestrator with a great model every single time.
Okay, understanding the performance is one thing, but for an indie dev, for a small team, it all comes down to the bottom line, right? So let's talk about the price of all this power and figure out your personal cost of this war.
Here's a quick look at the pro-tier prices for the main players. And right away, two things should just jump out at you. GitHub Copilot is coming in super aggressive at $10 a month, and Goose is totally free, though, of course, you pay for whatever API you plug into it. Then you have Claude Code and OpenAI's Codex sitting there at that $20 mark.
So how do you map this to your own wallet? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If your number one priority is your budget, you're looking at Goose with a local model, which is free, or GitHub Copilot for $10. If raw performance is what you care about most, that $20 sweet spot with Claude Code is where you want to be. And if you have heavy usage and you really want to put your development on autopilot, then you start looking at the higher max tiers from Claude.
Okay, we have surveyed the battlefield, we've met the factions, we have uncovered the real secret weapon. Now it's time to put it all together into a personal battle plan, designed specifically for you, the indie developer.
First, a real quick look at what the future might hold. The most likely outcome, our base case, is that Claude and GPT 5.4 continue to dominate and open source becomes the go-to for saving money. Best case, a hybrid golden age where local models get so good that most of this stuff becomes free. But we have to consider the worst case too, where costs explode and we all get locked into these expensive ecosystems. Our strategy has to be ready for any of these.
With all that in mind, here it is. This is the final recommended stack for a solo indie developer in 2026. For your main agent, the one that handles the big, complex architectural work, get Claude Code Pro for $20 a month. If you do any iOS development at all, GitHub Copilot for $10 is a non-negotiable, just for that Xcode integration. And for experimenting, run the free Goose agent with a cheap, effective API like DeepSeek v3. All in, you're looking at around $35 to $50 a month for an absolutely top-tier, flexible, and powerful agent setup.
And that leaves us with one final, crucial question to think about. We've seen how good these agents are getting at actually writing the code, right? So, in a world where autonomous agents are building the code, what is it that we, the developers, are supposed to build?